Hey everyone, welcome along to Betfair's preview of round 25 of the NRL, the finals. They're only a couple of weeks away now. I'm looking forward to it. I reckon Tim Gilbert is as well. Welcome back, mate.
Thoroughly. Great to be here. Great to beat the duck pond on an absolute sparkle-arcler. Picture postcard perfect down here at the pond. Now,
it was a tough weekend last weekend because there were a few games that could have gone either way, but there's probably 5 good things this weekend, you have to say. A few very short in the market.
I never declare as quickly as you, and I know the crystal ball works well, but take me through your best 5. Let's start from the top, and I'll see what my point of view is.
Well, the Battle of the West, I think it's a mouth-watering clash. Parramatta, very good last week to beat the West. I thought the Tigers were going to finish over the top of them at the football stadium last week, but Parramatta, on the back of some Hayne brilliance, pulled it out. $1.45, Penrith $3.10. They're saying in the papers the Panthers think that they might be able to keep Jared Hayne quiet, but I'm not so convinced. Tim, what about you?
Yeah, well, they need to keep Jared Hayne quiet, but I tell you, Parramatta need to keep Michael Jennings quiet. Did you see that try he scored last week? It was outstanding. The guy, he is very, very quickly emerging as one of the big things, isn't he? I know he played Origin this year. He's outstanding. So they've both got brilliance at either end of the park. It's going to be a sellout at Parramatta Stadium. I cannot go past Parramatta, because they are just in that sort of mind frame where they don't look like they're going to lose. And no Petro. Penrith were good last week against a very weak South Sydney side, but they were poor against Brisbane the week before. Parramatta.
But how many?
Oh, you make it tough.
Parramatta by 10 for mine.
Maybe, I don't think so. Maybe 18-14.
Ooh, precise score.
Nudge home.
Now we've got the Battle of Queensland, we've got the Battle of the Western Sydney, the Battle of Queensland up north, the Cowboys. No one wants a bar of them. $2.86 on Betfair. They'll get out $3 to come kick off, and the Broncos $1.50. It's amazing how things can turn around.
Yeah,
they were Gonskis, the Bronx.
Yeah. I was at the Broncos the last couple of weeks. I've seen both their games, and I'm heading up to Townsville for Friday for this game. It's already sold out, or close enough to it. They had 20,000 pre-sold a few weeks ago. The Cowboys, the only way that the Cowboys can make it for you Cowboys fans watching is that they need to win both their games and they need a few results to go their way. Well, you would think so. And Brisbane looked like a premiership side the other week. They really did. And they'll have a lot of support up there in North Queensland. I can't see them slowing down. Dave Taylor running out wide, Darren Lockyer in irresistible form on 1.5 legs. I think the Brisbane side to win.
Yeah, I think they'll be winning that game as well. All right, the Titans versus the Tigers, the Gold Coast. Now, I just wonder if there's going to be a little bit of complacency. They've sealed the top 4 spot. 2 rounds to go. They might rest a couple of players too. They're $1.39 against the Tigers at $3 at the moment.
Well, John Cartwright's come out in the week and insisted that they won't rest players, but it's still their prerogative to do that. But will they be playing... we shouldn't use the word, but the word dinner suit's been used before, hasn't it? Like with football teams that know they're in the top 4. Realistically, they're not going to get them on a premiership. So, yeah, I like the Tigers. I think the Tigers are real good things this week. I thought after last week, they played the form side of the competition. Parramatta, they've got some injuries, but the guys coming in, if you look at the guys coming in to replace them, they're pretty good themselves. Benji and Robbie both fit. I think they'll get them.
Yeah, I think they'll win as well. Plenty to play for the Tigers. They've got to win both of these games and hope that things fall their way to make the finals as well.
Well, if they win both their games, I think they'll be there because they play the Bulldogs next Monday night. Yeah, that's 30 points will get you there.
Yeah. Tigers to win for mine as well. Now, how about this for a betting game? The Dragons versus the Rabbits. They've lost 2 in a row, the Dragons. Everyone's telling me that I've gone the early crow, declaring them to win the comp. They're $1.14, and the South Sydney Rabbitohs are $7.20.
Yeah, the Dragons will mop the floor with the Rabbits, I'm sorry. They've got nothing really to play for. They're not close enough to the wooden spoon to be fearful of that. They're not close enough to the 8 to even think about that. They're probably thinking about end-of-season trips, flicking through a few brochures. I think the Dragons will win.
Where are they going?
I don't know. Bali, if it was me. I love Bali.
Melbourne versus the Roosters.
I'm joking. I'm sure the Rabbitohs will play hard, but they won't win.
No. The Storm... Now, the punters must think Greg Inglis is going to play here because they've been going like Fettingham bastards, and they're $1.14 against the Roosters, who are limited but have been trying hard, and they're not hopeless in this game. The Roosters?
They don't want the cutlery, do they?
No.
They don't want the spoon, and that's a narrow fight, isn't it? Like as close as the bottom 8 is, as close as the minor premiership is, it's them and the Sharks. They won't win though. I can't see them beating the Storm.
No.
I just think the Storm have copped too many clobbers around the head the last couple of weeks. They need this to secure their 4th spot, and I think they'll do that.
All right, Melbourne will win, but you can get the 18.5 point line on Betfair. Take the Chooks with 8.5 start. They won't be getting beat by more than that.
That's not stupid.
No, it's not stupid. Huge start. I'll tell you what is stupid. the Sharks' chances of beating Manly on Sunday. $1.10 the Sea Eagles, the Sharks $8.20. Now, I'm not condoning big betting, but if I had to spare 100,000 sitting, I reckon 10% of my money with Manly to come out and lap the Sharks by 30 is probably the
If you've got a lazy 100, you can. I don't bet with your head not over it.
No, exactly.
I don't think 10% of 100 is what you want to be doing. But let's have a look at that game. Manly will flog them.
What's there to look at? They'll win by 1,000.
Manly will win, and win well. Brett Stewart back, their marquee player, their #1 player, their superstar. And, well, he hit the ground running, didn't he, when he came back for a few games last time, scored 100 tries a game. So
different this time around, a long-term out with a knee injury, so he'll just try and work him back in slowly.
He'll probably score 4 tries.
Yeah, I think I'll score 4 tries against the poor old Sharks. And I'll tell you, the Bulldogs will take the Warriors as well. $1.14 against the Warriors, $6.60. I told you there were some good things this weekend. There could be 1,000 points on Sunday.
Yeah, and that's a really, really good game, that. And the reason why I say a good game is because, I'll tell you what, we're farewelling one of the modern greats of the game.
Spectacle.
No, I'm trying to say that there's plenty to it. Game meaning that the whole theatre of it. Hazem El Magic, we say farewell to a guy that's not only been a wonderful player, broken every record on the book, but a terrific role model for everything rugby league and what it stands for. Born in Tripoli in Lebanon, started playing soccer, and here he is, finished up. Who would ever think that from his start in life that he'd end up... And he's been just wonderful. I can't say enough good things about Mr. El Magic, and we wish him all the very best.
Last regular season game at home.
And they're devoting the day to him, basically. I think the Prime Minister will be there, everyone will be there.
Kevin Rudd, he wouldn't miss a chance for a photo opportunity, would he? And on Monday, the Raiders versus the Knights. Well, this is a fair dinkum toss of the coin. Raiders and the Knights, I reckon they'll be about $2 each of 2. What do you reckon?
Raiders at home are like sitting in a comfortable lounge chair. Raiders away are like sitting in a chair with no legs on it. They cannot travel. They are so uncomfortable out of the ACT, and they won't be uncomfortable here. I think that they'll beat the Knights. They gave everything in their favour. It's a night game. They sharpen up, don't they? You get through Manuka, Kingston, and go buy yourself a lazy brioche, and Canberra do very well.
And go and cook your own steak at the Kingston pub.
You could do that. Yeah. You could do a lot of things.
Newcastle will beat them. Too much to play for.
Premiership
market at the moment, $3.85 the Dragons. Bulldogs, geez, they've tightened up, $4.40, but the big mover has been the boys.
Did you can we go back on the tape one day and just say, did you call the Dragons morals for the Premiership?
I think they are.
Right.
$5.80 Manly. They want to be on. They just keep putting it on, the Betfair punters, with Manly to win the comp. $5.80. $9.20 Melbourne. They were at to $12.50 after they got beat on Sunday. So the Melbourne Storm fans obviously.
What are the Eels to raise it?
$13. Backed at a high. I sent a big press release out this week. It was widely reported. $460 they were backed at mid-season.
Goodness gracious.
And they're into $13. So if you've got the 460s, you're flying high there as well. Now, I want to pick your brain about something else happening in rugby league this weekend. The Challenge Cup final. Now, we've got an international viewing audience, so obviously people from Huddersfield and Warrington would be very interested.
Hello there.
In knowing that $1.96 for Nathan Brown's Huddersfield against Warrington, $2.14. What do you know about this game? Because I know nothing.
I know the Challenge Cups, and you speak to anyone that's either played in one or been to one. It's just a wonderful, wonderful atmosphere. It's a good news story about the coaching career of Nathan Brown, isn't it? He left here, the Dragons, and really he was doing his apprenticeship in the big time, wasn't he, with the Dragons? They got the toughest supporters there ever is, and he's gone over there and he's taken a side which. They're not one of the glamour teams of the Super League Huddersfield. No, they're not. And done really, really well with them. Here they are in the Challenge Cup final playing Warrington. You can see by the prices that it's a close one. Brett Hodgson, one of the good guys of rugby league, and this is on the West Tigers website, one of their most favourite sons, is playing for Huddersfield. I think they'll nudge home. Matty King, Michael Monaghan in the Warrington side. It's going to be a great game of football, and live on the 9 Network on Saturday night.
Oh, good. When you talk to some of the greats of the game, Andrew Johns, Wally Lewis, they played in them. They say they're great events. Sterler, yeah. So, compulsive viewing on Channel 9. You have a bet on Betfair, of course. All right. Great weekend. A couple of weeks for the finals, and we're going to have a look at everything next week leading into the final regular season round. And I can't wait for the finals, Timmy.
No, it's just a wonderful, wonderful time of year. Enjoy your footy.